Hey, it's me. The weather is kind of bad today, so yeah, don't mind the noises. Let's start the chapter. Chapter 21 of Heaven's Official Blessing. We see Shillian's returning from collecting the scraps. He turns his head to see the beautiful sunset. He stops and his eyes little wounded. We get a little flashback of Shillian and his Nanfang and Mukin. They used to serve him. So we got this little flashback. Three of them talking. They're like going. Shellen's just standing here watching these old memories. His eyes got a little numb. That kind of sad, feels sad. Suddenly someone calls him, Mr. Daoist. Mr. Daoist. Shillen turns his head. He sees an old man with a cart. He says, "Excuse me, please move aside." My apology. Shillen apologizes. This elder looks familiar, like I have seen him in the village before. Shillen thinks in his mind. He says, "Pardon me, are you possibly heading towards PQ village? If so, can you give me a ride?" "Get on," the old man says. "Thank you," as he puts his scraps on the cart. He also gets on, and we see his bakery. We see his booty. I mean, this scene is kind of I don't know how to say it. At first, when I read this, I was like, what the hell? Is this me or I actually saw his booty? Watching is going to kill me. Let's continue. He settles down on the cart and he exhales. Shillen thinks today's collecting was quite fruitful. If I think about it, I'm using my own money to start the shrine, and I'm earning some more by collecting trash. Truthfully, ascending isn't any better than collecting trash. As he opens his bag, he says, "Besides, I also received a scroll called Catalog of 100 Heavenly Officials. Now is a good time to catch up." He opens the scroll and starts to read. He says his name. He says, "Crown Prince of Shanley, ascended thrice, martial god, plague god, trash god." Shellen's like what? Dot dot dot. Well, it's not a big of a difference. All the gods are same and eventually is born equally. Is that so? Someone says. Shillen turns his head and someone else is also sitting here. He says, "If that was the case, then none of the god in heaven would exist." That man is sitting here with his legs crossed. Like Shillen's face. Look at his face. Shillen again speaks. "You have a good point. Which young lord came out to play?" He says in his mind. He speaks, "Water god Voodoo, in charge of water resources and daily fortunes." Shillen asks, if he's a water god, why is he also in charge of fortunes? In response, the red-clothed man answers, "The water god is extremely powerful in heaven. Merchants and businessmen almost always travel via water routes, and his words can determine whether a boat can cross or not. Even since then, the water god has been in charge of fortune." So that's how it is. Mingguang Temple sub-deity Pei Shu, kin of General Pei Shu, city slaughterer? Shillen says in his mind, "I never thought General Pei Jr. would have a past like this." It's nothing surprising really. A general's success stands on the bones of many others, so the path to becoming a god is a bloody one. Shillen turns his head. He gets up and says, "My friend," and again we get this booty scene. Like Star Ember is trolling us or what? Look at that ass. Huachang is really lucky. Shillen says, You're so young, yet you know so much. In response, which the red clothed man says, it's not much, just something I'd learned when I had free time. Then, since you know a lot about the gods, what about the ghosts? Which ones? The red clothed man says. The crimson red that seeks the flower, Hua Chang. Shilian asking Hua Chang about himself. Like, Hua Chang is literally sitting beside you. And he's like, no, tell me about him. This is so. Hua Chang smiles as Shilian's fixing his things. Hua Chang rises. He speaks. What do you want to know? Shilian turns his eyes. He says, go ahead and ask. Like Shilian's like Hua Chang is right beside you, Shilian. And you're asking him, like, tell me about Hua Chang. In this, the chapter ends here. Sarambar really did a good job drawing Hua Chang's this form. And she also gave us that ass view. Like, what the hell? So yeah, let's meet in episode 22. Chapter 22 of Heaven's Official Blessing. It starts, and Shilian said, the title Crimson Red Sword Flower sounds very awe-inspiring. Do you know what its origin is? It's nothing impressive, Hua Chang says. He once went to destroy a goat's dwelling and a bloody rain followed. When he was leaving, he saw a pitiful flower that was being beaten by the blood rain and tilted his umbrella to protect it. Shilian thinks it must have been a mysterious yet elegant scene. Shilian asks him, what was he like when he was a human? In response, which Hua Chang says, probably not a good person. Shilian asks, then what does he look like? Hua Chang glares. Hua Chang gets up. Hua Chang asks, how do you think he should look? Shilian thinks before answering. As a ghost king, he must have many forms he can change into, but I feel like his original form is probably that of a youth like you. Hua Chang laughs and says, you can't be sure though. But he's blind in one eye. He dug it out himself, Hua Chang says. Why? Shilian asks. In response, he gets insanity. ... Does he have any weaknesses? His ashes. I'm afraid no one will ever be able to get his ashes. So his weakness is useless. That's not certain. There's a custom in the ghost realm. A ghost can select a destined person and hand his ashes to them to take care of. As Shilian holds the leaf, Shilian said, I didn't expect the ghost realm to have such a genuine and sentimental custom. He plays with the leaf. But it would be heartbreaking if the ghosts tried their hardest and then gets their ashes smoothed by the person they choose. What is there to be afraid of? Hua Chang says. If it were me, why would I care if he wants to destroy my ashes or scatter them around for fun? Shilian looks at him and again turns and smiles. Shilian asks, by the way, we've been talking for so long, but I still haven't asked you for your name. Me? I'm the third child in the family, so everyone calls me San Lang. Shilian says, my surname is Xie and my given name is Lian. Are you heading to PQ village as well? I have no idea, I'm just wandering around. What's wrong? I argued with my family and was forced out of the house. I walked for a long time without destination. Today I was so hungry that I almost fainted in the street before I found somewhere to lie down. The chibi wasn't so cute. Shilian unties his bag. I don't know if it's a bag or a cloth. So you, so yeah, don't mind me. Would you like to eat it? He offers him food. Ho Chang says, but you don't have none left. Then we can each get half. Sorry, I'm just going to say San Lang, okay, not Hua Chang. I'm just going to say San Lang since he said San Lang. Like in this like particular chapters, his form is from San Lang, so I will call him San Lang. San Lang says, but you have none left. Then we can get half. As both of them are eating, we see the sun completely sets and it's completely dark. The cow moves, and the old man says, What's wrong? Shilen gets out of the cart and asks the old man, What's wrong? I don't know either, my cow. Hey, old yellow, why won't you move? As the bull is huffing, Shilen asks, What's today's date? As the old man's thinking, San Lang answers, Is the day of the ghost festival. As Shilen turns his head, we see a song. Mid-July, the ghostly doors open. Shilen warns, don't recklessly walk around today. If we pick the wrong, we will never be able to return. As San Lang just chilling around with Shilen is trying to protect him. Episode 22 ends here. Chapter 23 of Heaven's Official Blessing. Chapter starts and we see some headless ghosts with lanterns. As they're moving forward, Shilen uses Rui. He says, Protect! Rui makes a circle around them. Shilen says, Alright, make sure you don't make any noise when they come close later. They can't see us right now, but I can guarantee if they come closer. And Ho Chang's like looking at Rui like, good silk. Shilen says, Gege, you're actually quite an extraordinary person, aren't you? Not really, I only know a little bit. In this, we see Gege means older brother in Chinese. It is a term of endearment even when they're not related. And the old man says, No, I'm afraid I won't be able to hold it in. Shilen exhales and says, Then my apologies. Ouch. Shilen knocks the old man out and he says, San Lang, it's alright, there's no need to be nervous. Get on the cart first so we can keep going. As they're crossing the ghost, one of the ghosts says, Why do I feel like the body holding your head is actually mine, not yours? The other head says, Bullshit! No, let me take a look. I feel uncomfortable when someone else's body is holding my head. Response the other head says, Don't fucking touch me. Your head was severed in such an ugly way. I'm not blind. The ghosts are fighting for that's my body. Like what the hell? This scene was also so funny. As the cart's going, a part, I think, touches one of the ghosts, screams, and the ghost screams because that part touched. That ghost says, That's weird. Why can't I get over there? You idiot, there's nothing over there. How could you not? As he's speaking, suddenly the cart hits his face. The ghost says, What the hell? I really can't get past. There must be ghosts around. In response, the other ghost says, You're a ghost. How can it be because of ghosts? The other ghost comes and says, That's enough. You two are so annoying. Hurry up, let's go. And Shilen is watching, like chilling there, like nothing's happening. And the ghost says, What the fuck was that? Scared the hell out of me. And San Lang laughs a little. As Ho Chang's kinda nervous, he thinks, From now on, I have to check the date before I go out. Ho Chang leans towards Shilen asks, Are you alright? In response, he said, No, I'm scared. ... Like, don't lie, San Lang. We know what you're up to. We know. Shilen says, There is no need to be afraid. As long as you stay behind me, nothing will harm you. San Lang says, Gege, ahead. You see two parts. There are two different parts. We can't just normally pick up a path on a ghost festival's night. If we pick the wrong path, there would be no way back. Then what should we do? Shilan gets up, and we again see his ass, and he's looking at Shilan's ass. Sanlang is looking at Huacheng's ass. I'm guaranteeing it. Huacheng is screaming for inside. Like he has, he is blessed by heaven. My God. Shilian says, we can only leave it up to the gods. While Sanlang is still looking at Shilan and his ass, by the way. Ta-da! Shilan takes out a box full with, I don't know what this thing is. I'll just call it a box filled with sticks, I think. Again, we see the chibi version. Shilan's shaking it and he says, Heaven's official blessing, may no evil follow. Let the paths be open and each to their own. First stick is to the left, second to the right. Whichever stick is better will be the path we take. Two sticks fell. Shilan picks up those sticks and both of them sticks is written bad. Both of them. ... Shilan's looking at it. Shilan again does. Jar, dear Jar, this is the first time we've met. Why must you be like this? Shilan again does that. One more time, please do it. For my sake, okay? Shilan again shakes it. Again, two sticks fell. And both of them is written bad. What a bad luck. Sanlang takes the box and says, let me try. Shilan says, you're so lucky. Really? I've always been like this. Shilan says, now which path should we take? Well, all the sticks said good luck for you, so I guess you could pick just whichever path you think is the best, Sanlang. Okay, let's go this way. As Sanlang gets behind him, holds it, so romantic for me. And he has this line, and he does the smirk. Naughty Sanlang. With this, the chapter 23 of Heaven's Official Blessing ends. Before ending this chapter, I wanted to say something. Spoiler for those who haven't watched the Donghua. In the Donghua, the ghosts find out, I think. The ghosts find out that they found out them. And they were running from the ghosts. And Sanlang scares those ghosts away. So that scene is also cut it from here, from the Donghua. So just that. Bye. Chapter 24 of Heaven's Official Blessing starts and we see them in PQ Mountain, where Shilan says, seems like this was the right path. But, Shilan says as he looks at Sanlang, it's not strange to be knowledgeable, but for his face to stay so impassive amongst hundreds of ghosts at night. This young man is much too calm for his age. Sanlang, he calls, as Sanlang opens his eyes. He says, have you ever gotten your palm read? Oh, Sanlang says. Do you want me to read it? Let me take a look. Ordinary ghosts can take on a human's appearance, but they can't mimic details such as hairs and palm lines. I'll be able to tell if something is weird. Shilan says. Shilan is kind of smart. We'll look at his... As Shilan said, his palms line are clear. There's no sign of magic tampering. Could I be overthinking? Sanlang says, so? What do my life fortunes look like? Shilan quickly calls. You are a very persistent person and have a headstrong personality. Although you have had your ups and downs, you always remain true to your heart and can turn your misfortunes into blessings. By and large, you have great continuous fortune. Friend, you will have a fulfilling and bright future. Is there more? Sanlang asked. Shilan thinks in his mind in nervousness, do I need to fabricate more for him? Shilan nervously says, what else do you want to know? Since you're telling me about my future, shouldn't you say something about my marriage partner too? I'm not very skilled or experienced in this aspect, but I'm sure you won't have to struggle with that. Why? Ashiran scratches his cheeks and I'm quite sure there will be plenty of girls who will like you. Or a man named Shilian. Why do you think that? And if we zoom into this, we see Hua Chang's baby fangs. It's so cute. As Shilin says, San Lang. Shilin says, are you trying to get me to compliment you? In response, San Lang laughs. And again, if we zoom in, we see San Lang's baby fangs. They reach to the mountain, a dog is barking. Okay, we've arrived. And there's these dogs that's still barking. Shilin presses his finger. The trouble has passed, sir. So you should hurry home. Don't tell anyone about what happened tonight. The old man looked shocked and thanks, Shilian. Thank you so much for saving my life. I will do as you say. I will head back right away and not speak a single word of what has happened. As the old man left quickly, and if we skip into this scene, zoom in, this is the same dog that was barking when they came. And I don't know what Chang did, but that dog is scared. He's whining literally. He's scared as hell. What did you do, Hua Chang? Like these are the little details that you should like. Those who watch it carefully, you would be able to get these details. So yeah, let's continue this chapter. As Sanlang starts to leave, Shilan says, Sanlang, why are you planning to go? I don't know. I will sleep on the streets or find a cave to rest in. Thanks for your kind words, Gege. I hope we can meet sometime again. Again sometime. Hua Chang literally became a homeless. Like, you have a freaking castle. Just to be with Shilling is like, I'm homeless. Someone pick me up. You have a freaking castle. As he starts to leave, Shilling says, wait. Why don't you come and stay at my shrine? Can I? Shanlang asked. It wasn't mine in the beginning anyways. I heard that people would stay the night there in the past. It might be a bit shabbier than what you'd imagine, but Sanlang, as his words got cut off, I zoomed out of it as Sanlang takes the bag from Shilan's hand. They look into each other's eyes. Shilan continues, as long as you don't mind. Sanlang says, well then, let's go. As the chapter 25 of Heaven's official blessing starts, we see the night scene. Some crickets are making noises. We see inside the house where Shilian and Sanlang are sitting on the bed, I think, no, on the mattress. Shilian apologizes. Sorry for the inconvenience. My place is a bit run down. We see question mark. As Shilian turns his head, he sees Sanlang looking at his leg, and again we get his ass scene. Like, why? I don't even know if he's looking at his leg or his ass. What you looking at, huh, Sanlang? His leg or ass, huh? Shilian quickly covers his leg. Sanlang changes the topic and says, I think this place is great. You're just missing a few things here and there. Silence that. Shilian says, I think apart from worshippers, I'm not really missing anything. What about the worship statue? It hits Shiliang as he thinks in his mind. To think I would forget the most important thing. Sharon quickly coughs and says, I bought some ink and a brush today. I will draw something tomorrow and hang it up. Shilian thinks in his mind, drawing a portrait of myself. If the heavenly court hears about this, I will probably laugh for a decade. Don't worry, Hua Cheng will kick their asses again. Sanlang says, a drawing? He says, I know how to draw. Would you like some help? In response, Yelen says, thank you, but I'm afraid you don't know how to draw a portrait of the crown prince of Shenla. Sanlang says, I know how to. And he gives a smirk, a sly grin. Weren't we talking about His Highness the Crown Prince back on the cart? Shilan says, Sanlang, do you really know of him? I do. Then Sanlang, what do you think about this Crown Prince of Shenla? As Shilan gives him a cloth, it's cold at night, you can use this as a blanket. As Sanlang takes the cloth from Shilian and says, I think the martial god Heavenly Emperor Junwu must really hate him. Question mark. Why do you think that? Sanlang says, otherwise, why would Junwu banish him twice? As Shilian thinks in his mind, what a childish way of thinking. As he smiles a little. As he loses his clothes, he says, I don't think it has anything to do with not liking him. There are a lot of things in this world that can't be simply explained with like or dislike. Besides, if a person does something wrong, they should accept their mistake. Both times the Heavenly Emperor was only following the rules. Sanlang says, I guess so. It's getting late. Let's get some. Okay. As Shilian darkens the room. The moonlight coming into the house. The scene we see both of them are sleeping. Sanlang is still awake. He gets up and looks at Shilian. And he puts the cloth on Shilian. As the next panel shifts, we see the whole house surrounded by Hua Chang's silver butterflies. As a protective barrier, protecting him from ghosts. I think these things are ghosts. I don't know actually. This is so beautiful. He's protecting his love, his husband. With this, the chapter 25 of Heaven's Official Blessing ends.